Being a French brand, we understand how to party.
You're helping entrepreneurs launch their business.
You can't enter the game and think you're better than everyone else. One of the points of difference from L'Oreal Professional is that we help you train and develop your business. Our color is a technical product. You have to go to school to actually be able to use our color. We literally hold your hand and take you from zero to hero.
Welcome to Haute Conversations, where we explore the journeys of inspiring entrepreneurs and industry leaders. Produced and created by Unik Productions, this show brings you intimate discussions that reveal the secrets behind success, innovation, and personal growth.
Since COVID, embracing your natural hair is huge. All you blondes listen to me, they don't even know why they're using purple shampoo. Are you scared that it's going to turn your hair purple?
A little,
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
This is why a lot of guys love perms. They look like rock stars because of it.
Let's get into some tips and tricks.
So, number one,
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Haute Conversations. I'm your host, Elizabeth Crescente, and today we have a treat for you. We are diving deep into the world of beauty and education with Carson Drake, Education and Training Manager at L'Oreal Professional. Thanks for joining us, Carson.
Thank you for having me.
So I had the pleasure of speaking with you before the podcast, and we were discussing L'Oreal Paris, L'Oreal Pro, and the delineation between the two companies. Maybe you could share again so the viewers can hear.
Of course. So I work for L'Oreal Canada that owns many, many different brands.
Yeah.
L'Oreal Paris and L'Oreal Professional are two of those different brands underneath the umbrella of L'Oreal Canada as a whole.
Yes.
Okay. So L'Oreal Canada actually started with L'Oreal Professional back in the day with Eugene Schuller, who actually invented hair color. He actually got on his bicycle, went all around Paris and dropped off this new innovation to all of these little salons.
Whoa.
So this is what we call L'Oreal Professional that started L'Oreal Canada, L'Oreal in the whole world.
Wow.
Yeah. So since then, L'Oreal has obviously, kept going. And L'Oreal Paris is another brand that's more consumer based.
Okay.
So not to salons, it's more to consumer in your drugstores,
Right.
your big chains, that sort of thing. But L'Oreal Professional is a completely different product, heightened ingredients, and it's sold directly to the professional,
Right.
which then sells to the consumer.
And it's hair care focused.
Hair care focused,
Yep. Hair
treatment
color.
focused, hair color focused. So we also provide all of the color to all the salons, which is super cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So education and training, what's under your scope of work?
Events, inspiration, training everybody how to use our color. So our color is a technical product. You have to go to school to actually be able to use our color.
Wow.
Right? So different provinces have different rules, but it is a professional product. So not just everyone can get their hands on it and use it. The word lightener and bleach, and we are doing chemical services to change the hair. So you have to be professional to be able to use it.
I see. And so you're going school to school, but do you have to go salon to salon
Okay.
as well?
So let's say you own a salon.
Yes.
Okay. What would your salon be called?
Elizabeth Crescente.
I love it. It's
just
beautiful.
my name.
I love it. It's beautiful. We're going to open it right after
Okay.
this podcast. Basically, let's say you want to bring in a professional hair color, right? We would come to you, have a conversation. And if you bring in our hair color, one of the points of difference from L'Oreal Professional is that we provide education for your staff.
Right.
So let's say you have 5 new hairstylists under your belt.
Yeah.
We help you train and develop your business through education.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have a meeting, we plan a development plan for the whole entire year. Depending on how much education you're looking for, we help develop those staff from junior staff to like elite stylists.
Wow.
So you literally have the brand as a partner to develop your whole business.
I was just going to say, not only are you providing the product, but you're also helping entrepreneurs launch their business.
100%.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we literally hold your hand and take you from zero to hero.
Wow.
Right? If you're growing, we're growing. It's a huge point of difference from L'Oreal Professional. We have the best education.
Wow.
Yeah.
So sounds like you're a busy guy.
Very
And
busy.
what would a typical week for you look like?
My goodness, typical week. I could go through the whole year. It would be all over the place. But typical week can be anything from salon visits, right? So let's say I go to probably about like 10 salons a day if I'm on the road.
Wow.
So bam, bam, bam per region. Depends what we're doing, right? Like if we're doing a planning day, we would set maybe 5 to 10 actual appointments to plan the whole entire year. And then we plan out our education dates. So another day could look like admin, where I'm actually creating the whole education calendar and event calendar for 2024, 2025, which takes, 2-3 weeks. Another day could look like an actual event where we're doing an event. So we just had our last event called Portfolio Artistic Training downtown Toronto.
Oh, nice.
500 people, 11 artists on stage. It was incredible. So
Wow.
inspiration is a huge thing for us as well. Us being a French brand, we understand how to party, and we know that us as an industry, we love the glitz, we love the glam, and we love to keep our stylists and all of our consumers inspired.
Wow, I love that. So you mentioned inspiration. I'd love to know, how do you provide inspiration and motivation to your trainees in your education?
Okay, so let's say we partner on your new salon, which we already talked about. We're opening after this.
Yes.
You have 5 stylists that are elite stylists that we've been working together for years. As inspiration, we could do many things, right? So as I mentioned before, we have Portfolio Artistic Training, which is once a year, where we bring all of our salons together and we do basically one full day of about like 11 different looks that you learn. And then we actually do hands-on the next day. And we have this insane massive party that we just had at the Design Exchange, which was very fun. I told you we know how to party.
Yep.
And then let's say you want something a little bit more specific. You could hire one of our artists. We also have many, many artists across the country that specifically deal in certain types of hair cutting, certain types of hair color. And you could hire that artist to come into your salon to specifically inspire your staff for what you want as a salon owner to be elevated.
Wow.
Lots of things. We also have very individual cluster programs that we call close-ups. We have academy programs. So we're super busy all over the place all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, and you are super busy all over the place. You said sometimes it's 10 salons a day that you're going to, but your hair looks so perfect.
Oh my God.
You must use really good hair products. Tell us a little bit about your hair routine and some of the new products that you're loving at L'Oreal.
It's a journey, depending what look you're wanting to go for. So my latest kind of inspiration was off runways and seeing this like really bothered but unbothered hair, right? So I actually chemically treated my hair and got a perm.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So
that's not natural.
No, guys out there,
God,
perms are huge right now.
It's so sexy.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Good job.
Love it. Perms are huge right now. So you can chemically straighten your hair, chemically relax your hair, curl your hair. So I decided to get a perm, which used to be for, back in the day, mainly a female service, but now it's for everyone, all genders. So product wise, from L'Oreal right now, I use what we call curl expression. So we have a full line that's dedicated just to curl.
I see.
Okay. Products that I use, I do like a cream-in jelly, I do a hairspray and a little bit of mousse every single day. But we have so many products out there for every specific different hair type. Another real difference between like a L'Oreal Paris versus a L'Oreal Pro, sometimes professional really goes towards the specific hair type and the specific end result that you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved in the beauty industry? What led you to this career?
I, back in the day, was into restaurants.
Okay.
So I went to school, didn't know what I wanted to do, didn't feel comfortable choosing a path, as a lot of people don't, right? And I was kind of like, I don't need school. Back in the day, I wish that I went back to school, but maybe I'll do it when I'm, 60, 70. But yeah, in the future. But I got into restaurants and I worked for Earl's restaurants, Cactus Club restaurants, but I actually got into management. So if I'm not going to school, I'm going to be a manager, a general manager. And I naturally was just drawn to that. I'm from Vancouver, where those restaurants originated. I ended up moving to the States, opened up some of the restaurants in like the Washington area, and you get a 3-year visa. And at the end of that 3 years, I was just like, I don't think this industry is for me because of the hours, everyone else is on holiday, I'm working. When you want to go to a restaurant is when you're not working. So that's when I was busy. And I was super young and I was like, I did this. So let me go back to Vancouver, see my family and kind of figure some stuff out. So I went back to Vancouver. I was completely in like a tailspin of like, what am I going to do? Because work defined me.
Right.
I was so young. I was going in and out. I was basically waiting for my boss to tell me the next move that I need to make. And all of a sudden I was like by myself trying to make these decisions.
Yeah.
So I just started meeting people, getting into asking people questions, how they got where they got. And I met my friend who is a hairdresser and has a huge successful chain of salons.
Wow.
And I'm like, this guy has a Range Rover. This guy has all this stuff. I'm like, I can do this. So I really started asking him questions. And I was always naturally really drawn to beauty and to the aesthetics of modeling and the events and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I never thought that I could make money doing it.
Wow.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was like, oh, that's great, but can I actually make a sustainable career?
Right.
So when I met him, I was like, wow, you sparked something in me, right?
Yeah.
Like I always loved this, but it was kind of underneath me. So I went to a school and then I signed up that day.
Wow.
And my family was like, what? Blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? You know, you need to go back to school. You need to do this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm like, this is it. It checks all the boxes. And I could also take everything that I learned from that restaurant career, serving 10, 15, 20 different multiple personalities a day into my own business.
Well, and also you were scaling the company, opening up the stores in the US. And you've got so many different facets of it that you are using in your career now.
100%. I learned more in that formula of how to be successful and run a successful business.
Yeah.
And I applied it to everything in the beauty industry.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm getting into that industry because I know I'm going to be good at it. And I know I'm going to grow fast. And I know I'm going to shoot to the top because I have all those skills.
Yes.
And
you genuinely love it. Like
I genuinely love it.
Yeah.
I'm super passionate about it. And now that I'm in it, I really feel like I'm in the right place.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I love when people find that.
And it was not without trials and tribulations, right? Like you don't just go and figure out what you want to do right off the bat.
Right.
A lot of people are not that lucky. You have to be able to like take chances, risks, and like dive deep and literally figure out what's super important to you.
Right.
I made my career change to hair when I was 27, and then I wasn't graduated in the career until I was 30.
Still young.
Yeah, still young.
Yeah.
And now that I look back on it, it's young. I definitely thought I was
behind
behind the ball. Yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned that you transitioned from restaurant into the beauty industry. Now, did your aesthetic also change when you entered into that industry?
I think, of course, L'Oreal company as a whole, we're on top of the trends. We create the trends that happen in the salons. So 100%, of course. And to be honest, like, learning how to use products and how important products are for the way you look, the way you feel, really changed the game for me.
Wow.
Yeah, we have like incredible products that really do make a difference. For all of you out there that think they don't, they do. Right?
They do,
if you really go to a professional hairstylist and you go, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, especially stylists that partners with L'Oreal Professional, they will really guide you in the right direction to make that change. But it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
But it's very approachable to be able to actually do that. You just have to say it out loud and not think that you can do it by yourself.
Right. Right.
You need help. You need guidance. Yeah.
So you mentioned trends. What sort of trends are you seeing right now? Any new products that you think are really hot?
So trending right now, like I said, for everyone across the board, hair, huge, like we're seeing a lot of auburns, coppers for winter, big, bold colors. We're seeing also, of course, like trending wise, like box clothing, vintage clothing, which all of that translates into hair. Like when our artists actually go and create hair trends, they go back and they look what's happening on the runways with fashion, makeup, all of that goes together into creating these trends. Once the trends are decided, then obviously you have products that support the trends.
Right.
So like I said, let's say really natural looks and kind of vibrant natural coppers and stuff are coming along. Basically, there's so many products that support that. Right? So let's say if you get a chemical service, we have a new product that's called Absolute Repair Molecular that is there just to repair your hair, and it reverses up to 2 years of damage in one use. Yeah, it's amazing.
What's it called again?
Absolute Repair Molecular.
Okay.
Yeah, incredible.
And so I would go to a salon that works with L'Oreal and
Yeah,
tell them to
100%.
give me the treatment.
We also have an incredible new hair care product line. Well, not so new, but about a year or two that let's say you're trending really, really blonde, right?
Right.
You want to be as blonde as possible, which was a huge trend like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mhm.
A big innovative focus is trying to figure out what causes breakage and damage, right?
Right.
So you have prevention versus repair. A lot, what we figured out from L'Oreal is that it's actual metals in the water and in the system that actually create blockage and create breakage. So we have this line called Metal Detox,
Yeah.
and it detoxifies your hair from all of the minerals and metals that go into your hair from having a shower every single day.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
people are doing metal detoxes for like
I know.
consumed metal. I'm sure you'd never think that it also.
Metal Detox is an incredible
Okay.
line. It's amazing. Go to your local salon to find
I'm gonna have to
Metal
get
Detox.
a list of salons you recommend after this.
100%. And so you say like you want to go get blonde. Have you ever been stuck? And this is to all those viewers out there. Have you ever been stuck at that yellow, or you say, okay, every time I go to the hairdresser, I'm always brassy, or like
I
they
go
can't
brassy.
get past that
Yeah,
yellow.
sometimes I go brassy.
So really what this does is it detoxifies the metals out of your hair so that when they put lightener on your hair, you get 2 to 3 levels more lift.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can get to that blonde that you really want if you actually start using this system.
Okay.
So like I said, it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. So you use the system, you lighten your hair, and then you go back again. And every single time you can get lighter and lighter.
Let's get into some tips and tricks. First, very selfishly, I'd like to hear about tips and tricks for blondes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So many tips and tricks for blondes. Obviously, if you're blonde, you're worried about breakage, correct?
Right.
Right? Because you are chemically treating the hair.
Mhm.
So tips and tricks for blondes, I would say your purple shampoo is super, super important. So your at-home hair care is one of the biggest things that's going to keep your blonde or your tone, the specific tone you want it to be. Okay. So let's say you want to be the most blonde. Everyone is always asking me, what kind of purple shampoo can I get? All this stuff. They don't even know why they're using purple shampoo. Do you know why? Do you know why?
I use it. I do use it.
And
I
you don't know why?
Not really, but I'd love to know.
Okay, I love it. So purple shampoo tones your hair. So when you get your hair lightened, basically what it does is it opens up the hair follicle and it exposes underlying pigment.
Okay.
So every level of hair has a different underlying pigment.
Okay.
So if I lighten hair from level 1 to like level 6,
6 being lighter?
yeah.
Okay.
So basically there's a level system where it goes from 1 to 10, and 1 is black, 10 is the lightest blonde.
Wow.
So as hairdressers, we lighten levels, and every level has a different pigment. So obviously if you have darker hair, you expose orange and warmth and all that.
Right.
Right? So what we do is we use colors to neutralize the brass.
Right.
So when you get up to level 8, 9, 10, like you are,
Yeah.
beautiful hair, by the
Thank
way.
you.
What you do is you expose yellow, which
Oh,
is
I
your
see.
underlying pigment is yellow. So what neutralizes yellow?
Purple, I guess.
Purple.
Yeah.
Okay. So purple neutralizes yellow.
Yeah.
So a lot of purple shampoos can be a little bit drying. There's a lot of different ingredients. So
Yeah.
I would recommend using a purple shampoo once a week. Leave your purple shampoo on. All you blondes, listen to me. Leave it on for 2 to 5 minutes.
What?
Once a
really
week,
that
yeah.
long? Okay, I'm not doing that. I will start.
Are you scared that it's going to turn your hair purple?
A little,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So make sure you talk to your hairdresser about what purple shampoo to buy.
Okay.
Because they will match it with whatever color line that they're using.
Okay.
I would leave it on for 2 to 5 minutes to actually make sure it neutralizes.
Okay.
If you just put it on your hair, it's not fully going to neutralize.
Okay.
I would then use a repair hair care system or line that's going to repair your hair. And a lot of people think that those repair lines don't actually repair, but they actually 100% do. They either remove the metals,
Yeah.
they help protect disulfide bonds in the hair. They're real chemical products that actually help strengthen your hair.
Yes.
And you want a repair or strengthening system that's going to keep that hair strong because it's just been chemically altered.
Thank you for sharing that. What about some tips and tricks for men, and potentially, how can approaching hair care be a little more accessible for them? How can we simplify it for any of our male
Yeah,
viewers?
and I understand because I think that, like I said, when I went into this industry, I was like, like I'm not, I'm, I'm like a guy and this, and and it used to be a very female focused industry.
Right.
times are changing. We are completely gender fluid. We sell to people, not men, women.
Right.
It's people and hair. Hair has no gender.
Right.
Okay. So I want everyone to remember that. Hair has no gender. And when you're dealing with hair, you're dealing with hair on a human's head.
Right.
And that's one thing that's super important to L'Oreal is genderless hair and that movement.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's for men, it is again, a very touchy subject, but I think it's just because they don't inform themselves a lot, right? Like a lot
Maybe
of
some, yeah.
some are watching sports. They don't care, right?
Yeah.
But their girlfriend or their partner is like, you know what, you need to go fix that for when we're going out. So I would say just start by actually visiting a hairdresser. Right? Like what we are is we're beauty consultants.
Right.
We're there not just to cut your hair, but we're there to set you in the right direction to look better as a whole.
Yep.
Or let you know about trends and consult which way you should go based off of your hair type.
Yep.
So guys and women, just if you are looking at a TikTok or an Instagram post of that celebrity that has amazing hair, your hair might not be able to actually do that. Right? Depending on actually where your origin is from, the thickness of your hair, the underlying pigment that you expose. I think that you need to go visit a hairdresser and you're not going to be able to do it by yourself.
Right.
So for guys, go in, see that barber, see that hairdresser, and start off by just browsing and see, okay, does this look cool? Go see if that's even feasible.
Right.
If you go and see that's feasible and they're going to say yes or no. If it's not, they're going to guide you in the right direction. Right? So for me, my hair is obviously quite curly right now, which is why I got a perm, but it's like bone straight.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I hate my hair. It's straight. I can't really do anything with it. I went to a hairdresser and they're like, why don't you chemically alter it? Right. And I was like, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But then I did it and the compliments.
Yeah. I
So
complimented
much,
you
right?
today
Yeah.
a few times.
You didn't even know it wasn't real.
No, I thought it was real.
Yeah, no, she didn't even know it wasn't real. So start off going to your local hairdresser. Tips and tricks for product wise. There's so many introductory products that you can use, but I would say make sure that you go to a hairdresser, consult that hairdresser. Depending on what look you're going to use, then you can get the correct product.
Right.
So also I would say for men, a pomade is not going to solve all your problems. Correct? A lot of guys come and they go, okay, well, I have this, like, why doesn't my hair look like that? Like I said, there's many products that go into a certain look. Do you even want me to dive into my hair routine?
If you'd like to, do we have enough time?
Yeah, we do have enough time because now I don't have to blow dry it or do anything. But I've been through lots of different looks. But for this, all I do, and this is why a lot of guys love perms because they're very easy.
Yes.
Basically, what I do is I get in, flip my hair upside down after a shower, put gel and mousse in it, flip it back upside down, let it dry. And then I basically just slick it back with some pomade, lots of hairspray, and I'm done.
Looks great.
Yeah, it's actually super, super easy.
That's not that bad at all. I was
No.
expecting like a regime.
Well, yeah, there's lots
Knowing your expertise in the field.
Honestly, I made it a little bit more approachable for the beginners, but there's a couple more steps that go into that. But basically, that's all you need to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. What are some tips and tricks on dealing with gray for our mature audience?
Dealing with gray. This is a question that I get all the time and that
assume.
I do not have to deal with myself.
Me either.
Right? Yeah. I do not. So tips and tricks on dealing with gray. Number one, I would really say to partner with a hairdresser again. So don't try and do it at home by yourself because if you ever want to go do basically another hair color or lighten your hair or anything like that, a lot of the at-home products are super hard to get out of the hair.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
so it may be easy for you to do at home, but when you want to go change your hair color, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg by your hairdresser to
reverse,
fix and reverse all of that. So number one, go to a hairstylist.
Okay.
Tips and tricks on going gray. I think that just making sure that you are going, every 4 to 6 weeks to get your root touched up.
Right.
If you're blonde, there's a lot of amazing techniques that you can do where you're highlighting fully around the face to help blend your gray into like a super modern look.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be black or white. You can do a lot of blending techniques to make that gray a little bit more invisible.
And you were also mentioning the trend of growing your gray out, which I think is pretty cool. I'd love to hear about that.
Huge. Since COVID, embracing your natural hair is huge. I think ladies and gentlemen that want to do it, go for it. And I say that then you can have other products like a purple shampoo that can like keep the brassiness out of it. But you can also go to a hairdresser to help you highlight your hair to increase that process. So make it faster. So let's say you have a little bit darker hair that you want to grow out. You can go to the hairdresser and they can highlight the bottom of your hair to turn it gray to help that process happen.
Wow.
Yeah. 100%.
I love it. I've always sort of had this fantasy of having completely silver hair. I think I saw it on like a Comic-Con sort of thing. And I was like, that looks really cool.
But honestly, gray hair is cool now. You know, like embracing your natural hair is trending huge since COVID. Of course, all the salons and everything were closed during COVID. People had to get very innovative with what they were doing. And some people decided to go for it and embrace it.
Yeah.
And they look like rock stars because of it. It's
I know.
amazing.
I love the bold moves like that.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
It's amazing.
So speaking of bold moves, what are some trending hairstyles that you're seeing right now?
Okay, we talked about it for men. Perms are huge.
Right.
Okay. What a perm is, if somebody doesn't know what a perm is, it's not what your old grandparents do. It's not just for that. I think that it is basically when you chemically alter your hair. So if you have super straight hair, you would go and get a perm and you would chemically alter your hair to where it's fully curly for the rest of its time on your head. So that's what a perm is. I think that is super trending for men.
Yep.
Okay. Either perming the long front of your hair or growing your hair out and perming that.
Yep.
I would say that warm coppers, reds for fall, for winter is huge right now. I would say people are really embracing colors, but natural colors, earthy, natural colors, warm blondes. Okay. So back in the day, about like pre-COVID, it was ice.
Yeah.
All I did in the salon was like ice ash blonde. And thank goodness, because keeping that up is super, super hard. But now it's warm honey blondes, like buttery blondes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love a good buttery
golden blondes, like a beautiful gold. You would look so beautiful with a beautiful golden blonde. Is huge right now. I would also say haircut wise, shags are really big.
Really?
Yeah. So razor cutting and shags.
Cool.
So that really trending gender neutral hair is huge.
Right.
So gender neutral hair where it looks the same on a man, a woman, any gender is huge and edgy. Edgy hair is big.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'd like to change directions for a minute here and talk to you about sustainability. So what's L'Oreal Pro doing in the sustainability space?
Well, L'Oreal as a whole, sustainability is at the forefront of everything that we do. As one of the biggest companies in the world, we understand that if we don't move in a sustainable direction, it can have big impact on the earth, right? So sustainability, like I said, is at the forefront, and we really want to create the beauty that moves the world.
Right.
Okay. So innovation is huge. So for us in Canada, I think it's a big thing that we work with the salons called Green Circle salons. And Green Circle is actually a program that they give the salon a box and the salon collects all the hair, and Green Circle picks it up and they turn it into other products. So they recycle your actual hair and turn that hair into brushes, clips, different things that you can use in the salon.
Oh my goodness.
So we partner directly with Green Circle salons and help push that motivation to help recycle hair. That's just one thing that we do.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And it's an incredible initiative that we've been doing. Also, vegan products.
Yeah. So I'm vegan. I was going to ask you if you have vegan products.
100%. I represent a brand called Pureology, 100%
I love
vegan
that
products. Do you? I love
do.
it. It's amazing. 100% vegan products, recyclable packaging. A lot of our brands now moving forward are going to have 100% recyclable packaging as well. All of our color tubes now are turning into recyclable and are 100% vegan. Even the color that we use on your hair, a lot of it now is 100% vegan.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Also, we are dropping new tools that are more sustainable. We have a brand new hair dryer coming out called the Airlight Pro. which heats and dries your hair faster with infrared technology that consumes less energy as it's drying your hair.
Okay, sorry, what's that called again? I need to have that.
It's called the Air Light Pro.
I love it.
Faster drying, less energy.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
You're doing some really cool stuff in this space. So what advice would you give to someone that's looking to maybe enter into this industry or, let's say, open their own salon?
I would say go for it. To be honest, like, it is no holds bar. It is anyone's game right now with the introduction of social media. The brands are changing a lot. Everyone is really, really being innovative with what they're doing. And it is the perfect time to get going. So whether you want to open a salon, whether you want to start your own brand, whether you want to be an independent stylist, you can really do anything that you would want to. And I would say go for it. And I would say stay consistent. So if you're going to do something, commit to it for 5 years, for 2 to 5 years. You're not going to see results for 5 years. And that's for really any entrepreneur. And consistency is key. Use your social media, number one. So nowadays, and I don't know about you, have you ever looked a hairdresser up on social media before going to the salon?
100%.
That's probably where you find them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see their previous work. I want to see what their style is, if there's anything that they're really an expert at, all of that.
Yeah. So you need a social profile.
Yeah.
So social profile is very, very big nowadays, and it didn't used to be, right? And even if you want to get into the industry, that's the number one thing that I would recommend, is that all the brands look for social profiles, for their engagement, how you're interacting, and it's a huge part of the game now. Number one. I would also say educate yourself. Do your homework, right? Because you can't just enter the game and think you're better than everyone else. Right? You got to do the homework, and you got to put the time into it and just document it all. Social, social, social.
And I mean, you were speaking before about trends and staying on top of trends and how those trends, you know, will affect the type of products that you're using or training of these products and those sorts of things. So I think that that would also probably be the best piece of advice for them, to educate yourselves and be on top of where things are trending.
Continuously.
Try to get ahead of that curve.
Continuously evolve. Like, you never keep educating yourself, keep pushing for more. And honestly, I would say there's a lot of independence happening and stuff in the industry, but partnering with a brand is a really great idea, especially when you start. Because we do all the work, right? Like, we have the inspiration, we have all this and
the infrastructure.
And if you want to grow a team, like, we will help you get there. 100%.
It's amazing. Before we wrap up, we like to end each episode with a fun question. So I have one for you. If you could collaborate with any fashion designer or celebrity, who would it be and why?
Wow. That's a great question. I would say right off the bat, Tom Ford. Yeah, I would say Tom Ford, because I think he makes very memorable products and has a very classic elegance to the brand. It's very minimalist, understated, classic elegance, and it gives you a feeling. You know, right? Like, especially I'm so attracted to the colognes and the perfumes.
Oh my gosh, yes, same.
Because they linger, they stay for a long time, and they create and evoke emotion.
I'm wearing it right now. It's my daily.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's my scent.
That's
amazing.
Lost
Cherry by Tom Ford.
Lost Cherry. And who out there doesn't know what vanilla tobacco is? Because that is amazing. It's a classic, timeless, sleek brand. That's my style. I love that. So I'm super attracted to that. And he's very on top of, obviously, all the trends and everything that's happening. Trailblazer for sure.
I love it. Great answer. I'm so on board with that answer.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to everyone who is tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so we can reach more viewers like yourselves. I'd also like to thank the Soho Hotel, our partner, for making this episode possible. Thank you for joining in. Stay tuned. We've got more stuff coming your way.